Have you ever wondered how to become a girl camper? Have you checked out any of our events that we've got offered? We do over 300 events a year. And I'm pleased on this week's episode, we're going to have Girl Camper Event Manager Bonnie Shafto on. So stay tuned. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lesa McDermott, and this is the Girl Camper Podcast. And on today's episode, I am pleased to have my friend, Girl Camper Extraordinaire, Bonnie Shafto. Now, Bonnie is one of the original Girl Camper guides, and she is also the event manager for Girl Camper. So she is here to tell us about how to become a Girl Camper and all the great events that we have going on. Welcome, Bonnie.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. That was a nice welcome.
Oh. So tell us about your history with Girl Camper. How did you first become involved with Girl Camper?
My history is, I guess, about 5 years ago. Janine came to me and asked me if I wanted to be a guide in Texas. And at the time I was living there, and I jumped on it because she really wants to get back to camping basics, education, doing things, kayaking, hiking, all that and more. And so I started planning events in Texas, and then we moved to New Mexico. I had to say goodbye to my friends in Texas, and now I live in Taos, and I do events in New Mexico. And I also do a couple of international events and just special events, bucket list, Route 66, just doing river trips. Lisa's got one this summer, Green River. There's still room to sign up. I have a schooner in Maine we're doing, but that is full. And there's Ireland trip too, with 2 spots open.
Ooh.
And also a cruise out of Galveston, Texas in November. So there's a lot going on besides your typical weekend trips.
Very much. Yeah. That is one of the perks of us being on the executive team is we get a little more flexibility of being able to do some different trips, which is really fun.
Yep.
But most of our events are not these week-long extravaganzas.
No.
So talk a little bit about what's a typical Girl Camper event?
A typical Girl Camper event is at the campground, something in your state, or there may not be some near you, but maybe the state next to you. Usually starting on Thursday, you come in the afternoon, you set up. You might gather for a mutual dinner, have a fire at night. Then there might be an activity on Friday and Saturday, and same thing. You have dinner together, or you might go kayaking, hiking. There's usually a little something planned or a big list if it's a really cool area of what there is to do in the area. And then Sunday, usually, have your coffee in the morning and breakfast, and everybody sort of moseys out by the time on Sunday to head home. And it's just a nice little getaway. I know I am a totally different person after I've had a weekend out. And my husband notices it, and he's like, go girl. He's a workaholic, so he doesn't really mind me taking off. But we have women from all different walks of life, and widowed, divorced, happily married, unhappily married, unfortunately, sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Empty nesters.
For sure. And I think it's just fun, great camaraderie, and you all have the common feel of having something of camping or growing up camping together, even though you might be from different walks of life and different jobs.
Very true. And we have a lot of women that actually have never camped before that find their way to Girl Campers, because we like to say there is no wrong way to camp like a girl. No wrong way to camp like a girl. So you can camp in your tent, you can camp in a car, you can camp if you got a camper or motorhome, fabulous. You can camp in a hammock, you can camp in a cabin. We don't really care. It's more about, let's get you out here, come join us, have some fun. And, if we can help you feel more comfortable at the campground, all the better.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
And
I always look for something nearby, like, is there cabins at the campground? Is there maybe a hotel or Airbnb close by? too. And you don't know. Sometimes there's girls that might meet each other and double up in a cabin and become good friends. So, that's just a plus. And we are at Camporee right now.
We are.
We did not see that.
No. So we are on our final day of Camporee, which is Girl Camper's signature event every year. And we are right now in the Russian River Valley area, Duncan Mills of California. Just having a fabulous time with about 120 women. And you tell them a little bit about what happens at Camporee, because Camporee is special. This is not a normal Girl Camper event.
No, it is not. It is a once a year big national event. We try to have it in different places in the country each year. Last year was Outer Banks, South Carolina. This year, California.
Next year will be Colorado.
We start on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the mornings are usually classes, craft classes, RV text teaching classes. We had a women's safety class the other morning. And then you have the afternoon off to go play, because usually we try to have a fabulous area you want to explore and do things. And then come back, all your meals, like breakfast and dinner, are taken care of. And at the last day, which is going to be very soon, a few hours, we have Capture the Flag, which is a super fun game. It is not your typical Capture the Flag. And we have prizes for the winning team. Oh, and we have an auction, silent auction tonight.
Which benefits?
It benefits the Hold You Foundation.
Right. Camporee is the vision of our founder, Janine Pettit. She has memories of, sleepaway camp, she calls it, as being a kid. And that's what she wants Camporee to feel like, is bringing back that nostalgic feeling of when you were a kid and you went to camp. So ergo, Capture the Flag. We always have to do that. And we do usually try to have some really great prize for the winning team.
And as you can see, we sort of have that Haley Mills Parent Trap Camp wear going on too, with our hats. Which everybody got the scarf and your t-shirt and your hat. So it's just a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And it's fun to meet, so many different women. It's fun, I think, for you and I, because we haven't missed a Camporee since we started. And we've gotten to meet different women each time. This year being in California, a lot of West Coast women. Last year, a lot of East Coast women. I think next year it'll be really interesting, because I think we'll have a big mix, being more centralized. But it is a
Midwest
really
and
fun,
Southwest. It is fun. It is. And we had women flying in from
Iowa,
Missouri, Iowa,
New Jersey.
New Jersey. They're all over. So it's really cool.
Quite a diverse group. And yet we're still seeing people that we have seen, whether it's at Camporees before or other events. Like there's some people here that were on the Salmon River rafting trip that you and I did a couple of years ago. So it's really fun to reconnect. But what is different with Camporee is we do have a lot of activities, which most of our events are more laid back. This one is a lot more planned out. And and we always do a silent auction to benefit the Hold You Foundation.
And a bingo game that was totally amazing. And with lots of prizes.
Bingo. And all those proceeds benefit Hold You, which Hold You is a California-based charity that helps families that have sick or injured children pay for expenses that wouldn't be covered by insurance. So it's a really awesome charity. And it can do funding nationwide. It just is nice and coincidental that it happens to be in California too. So it is the Girl Camper charity of choice. And it's a big deal for them.
And going back to you saying, how do you join Girl Camper?
Right. How do you become a Girl Camper?
You head over to our website, girlcamper.com, and you'll see events. And you scroll down, there is a safety form to fill out, $10. That's all it costs to join Girl Camper.
One time
only. And the events, once you're approved, you can go in at any time, look at the events, join any event across the nation. You're traveling on vacation, and you're like, oh, I'd like to do this on the way.
Right.
You are more than welcome to do that.
Absolutely. In fact, we had a gal from Idaho call us this morning who is going to be traveling through, can't remember where she said she was heading, maybe Georgia. And she was asking me questions about an event in Iowa, and our Iowa guide and guide manager, Risa Leppert, happened to be sitting here, and I just handed my phone to her, and the gal's going to take a look at it. Yeah. Yeah. So it is a lot of fun, and we really try to kind of separate ourselves out from a lot of other women's organizations where it's about the camaraderie. It's about the education. It's about feeling empowered. Although we hate to use the word empowered because it sounds like we don't have the power, but we know we have the power.
We're just more empowered.
More power. It's getting the confidence and making sure that you're comfortable and having a good time, and no mean girls allowed, period.
Yep.
We just don't allow it. So, yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And I have made so many connections, and it's just awesome. And it's women that like to get out. You know how you have those friends that like have not gone down the highway 100 miles without somebody else driving for them? These women will drive. These women will set up and camp, and they are go-getters. It's just fun.
But you know what? Some of them may not have started that way.
No.
They may have started as that woman who had the husband drive or somebody else drive them. But then they maybe get to a campground like Cassini Ranch here, and they see us and are like, whoa, and start to think, you know what? I think I can maybe do this myself. And so maybe the first event, their husband does drive their camper to the campground for them, just to get them comfortable. Or maybe they stay in a cabin or their car. Who knows? But, once that starts to happen, then we usually have them.
You just get a little bit more under your belt each time. And so you're just like, it becomes secondhand, and it is a skill set of learning how to do it. And usually there is plenty of people that will help you and say, yes, this is what you need to do, or needs to be fixed, or you have to do, not that they're bossy, but they have really good advice.
Right. Like backing, like, oh, I'm not that comfortable backing my camper into a spot. Would you have someone there to help me back? And most of the time, yeah, we probably have someone that may not back it for you, but they will sit there with you and coach you through it so that you learn how to do it. So,
very true.
So our events, we don't really have rules per se. We don't have the, no men, no pets policy per se, but most of our events are women only, right? Can you talk about why is that?
No, I think it's just more comfortable sometimes with women. There's no mansplaining. There are events where families are welcome, and usually in the event itinerary, it'll tell you in the description, it'll say, this is a family event. This is a women and husbands event. But most of the time, the majority are women only. And I sort of like it. It changes things. I think when you have a man sit down at the fire, it just sort of changes the feel of it. And
even if he's not at the fire, he's just back at your camper. I think you're always kind of distracted. Like, I know I've had my husband with me on an event or two, and just knowing that he's back there, and it just changes things. So
you don't have that feeling, I'm going to go back and entertain him, or what are we going to do? Yeah, he's not wondering where I am, and just that pressure.
Right. And let's talk about pets. We're usually pet friendly, following campground rules. So it is kind of up to the hostess.
It is up to the hostess. Usually mine are pet friendly, and I just say no dogs at meals. And sometimes gathering, it just depends how many people are there and how many dogs are coming. And, safety is the foremost thought. We don't want, I've seen people trip over leashes in the fire, almost, have an experience of falling in the fire, dogs eating pecan pie, or the whole thing of chocolate bars. So, sometimes, the hostess might say it's, time to put the dog back in your camper. But anyway, no, for the most part, we're dog friendly.
Yeah. I know, like, for my events, I pretty much let the dogs come anywhere. But I do understand. No, usually leave them at home, or not home, but leave them back at your campsite during meals. But I shouldn't say just dogs. I'm now traveling with my cat.
Yeah.
So it's a cat friendly, pet friendly.
It's pet friendly.
Very friendly. organization. And I think
Yeah.
even here, man, we have what, 20, 30 women that are traveling with their pet
dogs. Yeah.
pets, not dogs.
Pets. Yes.
And my littles anyway. So well, thank you, Bonnie. This has been really good. I hope
thank
that
you,
this has
Lisa.
answered people's questions on
Yes.
how do you become a girl camper? Why would you want to become a girl camper? Oh, we should mention we have state chapters. We have guides in about 30 states currently, with the plans to have guides in all 50 states. So the best way to find your local guide is to go on our website, girlcamper.com, and scroll down, look for the map, and click on your state and see if we happen to have a guide there. And if we do, find the Facebook group, find surrounding state Facebook groups, join them.
Yeah.
And join all of our Facebook groups.
And a lot of us, the guys in different states will have Seeds of Friendship dinners or just meet and greets. And that's a wonderful way to start out, to come and just have dinner or lunch or brunch or coffee. And you get to meet the other women who are in your area before you ever get to the campground. So when you do pull in, you can be like, hey, I know you.
Right.
So that's a great icebreaker.
It really is a nice way to have a friendly face when you get more. Yeah. Very fun. So, well, thank you again. This is great. Appreciate it. So,
on to capture the flag.
On to capture the flag.